Business news now, and after weeks of speculation, Russia has failed to meet its debt payments, or at least failed to pay in dollars. But does that mean it has defaulted on its loans? And mixed messages from leading central bankers. America's Federal Reserve wants to tighten the economic screws, while the European Central Bank warns of possible recession. And where does China fit in? Gloomy data out of the world's second biggest economy. Back with me to discuss the business news now of the day, of course, is Arise correspondent Laurie Laird. Good to see you, Laurie. And before when you came the last time, we were talking about the sanctions and all the rest of it. Speculation that the EU is going to ban Russian coal. How much is a ban on Russian coal likely to cost Moscow annually?
It's going to. This is a difficult one because this ban simply means that it may cause the EU to rely even more on the one thing they haven't banned from Russia, which is gas. It's almost a symbolic gesture, and it can be replaced from other areas where gas from Russia to the EU is not as replaceable. Coal from Russia is probably about 15% of the energy mix in the EU. So it's important, again, particularly important in Germany. Whenever we talk about these energy bans, it really does come down to Germany. And Germany relies so much on coal, gas, and oil, mostly from Russia, for everything, not so much for heating homes. That's what we think about, isn't it? Is it winter? Do we have enough to heat our homes? But this also powers Germany's economy, which is very oriented toward manufacturing, much more so than most European nations. So everything that's made, from those German cars that we talk so much about, to chemicals, to gummy bears, Charles, this is all powered with fossil fuels, largely fossil fuels from Russia. So it will have a massive effect. The interesting thing is that Russian gas prices have been rising for the past 9 months or so. So coal has become a more important part of the energy mix over the past 6 months. So banning Russian coal will simply make it coal that is available more expensive for all these European consumers.
Right. So clearly oil and gas would put a much bigger dent in the Russian war chest. Could there be a more Europe-wide approach to gas? I mean, so it's not just Germany bearing the brunt of cutting off sort of Russian supplies.
Well, we had Charles Michel, the head of the European Council, saying sooner or later we're going to have to do something about gas. And Christian Lindner, the new-ish finance minister of Germany, has said, yeah, we've got to wean ourselves off of Russian gas, but not now, not now. And the problem is that Russian gas for Germany in particular is not fungible. Gas is something that's very difficult to transport. Right. You can't take a shipment of gas and divert it somewhere else. Right. Most of it comes through pipelines. You don't have the pipeline structure. You don't have the terminals to receive this stuff. So that's still on pause at the moment? Absolutely. Okay. Well, Germany gets all its gas through pipelines. There is no facility for Germany to take liquefied gas, regasify it, and then distribute it.
Okay, well, let's try and gallop through a number of other things. We've got a couple of minutes left. Russia's finance ministry is saying it's paid some principal and interest in rubles rather than dollars. Does that constitute a default?
The courts will have to figure this one out, Charles. I think this will be the beginning of a very long process. Russia has been threatening to do so, but they really can't pay in dollars anymore because they have essentially been cut off of the dollar system. So how this ends up will be a very big mystery.
Right, so that's one to watch. Central banks are responding differently to inflation. The Fed in America, the European Central Bank not wanting to raise rates. What's the message there?
The Fed is saying inflation's a problem. We are going to tighten very, very quicker than we did during the financial crisis. The European Central Bank earlier today said, wait a second, we're going to see some quarters of negative growth. This could be a recession. We are not doing anything about raising interest rates.
Okay, very quickly, some fairly bad data out of China today. If China slows down, how does that affect the rest of the world?
China being one of the biggest exporters of the world and one of the biggest importers in the world, if the Chinese economy slows, it means they're sending less stuff to us, more supply bottlenecks, we know that story, but they're also buying less of the stuff that we send, particularly from Germany, which sends them a lot of machines.
Laurie, thanks very much indeed. Laurie Laird.